Sanhedrin Daf Kof Bet Amud Aleph. Even though we've been talking about these three kings that did very bad things, but we should not make fun of them or think that they were completely bad people. And we'll give stories. Rabbi Abahu used to give speeches and talk about how bad these three kings were. Halash, one time he got very sick. He then decided he's not going to do it anymore. And Kevan the Itbah, once he recovered though, Adda Kadri, she started lecturing it again about it. They said, look, go. His student said, one second, why are you messing with them again? You said you were going to stop talking about them. He said back, Amar, he said back to them, Inhu kam mi hadrubu adana mahadrbe. He said, did they do the shubha? Did I do the shubha for? Yani, he doesn't care. This is a crazy story. But Ashi used to talk about the three kings. And then he used to say, Amar, the Mahar Niftah Habrin. Then he said, tomorrow we'll talk about our friends again, the three kings again. After Menashe Menashe, the king, one of those kings, came to Rav Ashi in a dream. Amar Menashe said, do you refer to us as your friends and the friends of your father? You think we're equals? Where do you, what part of the bread do you make hamotzi from? He's quizzing him. Amar Lo Adina, Rav Ashi said, I don't know. Amar Menashe said, you don't know what simple halacha of where you're supposed to make hamotzi from. You're calling me your peer? You're calling me your friend? Amar le Rashi said, okay, Agmarli, please teach me the halacha. Tomorrow I'll teach it to you in your name during Shi'ur. Amar le, he said to Mehecha the Karim Bishula, the crusty part, the corners, the edges of the bread that is toasted. Amar le, he said, Me'ahad hakiku lahai. Rashi said, since you're so smart and learned, why would you bang on Tawad Hazra? You obviously know your stuff. Amar le said, very powerful message, and this should reverberate with us. Menashe said to Rav Asher, if you were living when I was alive with Avodah Zarah's pure desire, you would have lifted the bottom of your robe so you could run faster to do Avodah Zarah. That's how hard the test was. The next day, Amar Lahu Rabbanan Rashi said to the Chachamim as he started his shiur, Niftach v'Rav let's start our speech about our teachers. He started referring to Menashe and the kings as his teachers because he understood that they weren't so simple to trample with. Ahab means he was bad to God and a father to Avodah Zarah. That's what you've led. Because it says regarding Ahab, his most least bad deed was to follow what Yeravam did. That means that the light avarot that Ahav did were was equivalent to the most severe by Yeravam. So why did Hachamim, the Torah put the pasuk, tie him between him and Yeravam? Because Yeravam was the beginning of the first of the kings to go bad. Mar Yochanan and the Israel is not a single spot in Eretz Israel, empty ground. That Ahav did not stir me, and I was about down to it. Milan lo after Almadatin, I know he doesn't have Alam above. Tiv Vehichrati Ahav Mashim Vekir Vasub Vazum Israel. Asur Mazay stopped in this world. Asur going to be left behind. Balam next verse. Mar Yochanan, Ipin Azacha Imri Machut. Why did Omri rather? Why did Omri was king for so long? He was a Rasha. The answer is because he added another city. He built a new city, he bought it. Why was Ahab able to be king for 22 years? Because he honored the Torah, which had 22 letters. This the king of Aram invaded Eretz Israel and he started giving ultimatums to Ahab. He said to him, your silver, your gold, your wives, and your children are mine. And Ahab said, no problem. Tomorrow I'm going to send my servants and they'll take everything from my house. Anything they want, they can take. Ahab said to them, I'll do anything except for this. What does it mean is the precious? What was he thinking that he was going to take away? Love Sefer Torah must have been a Sefer Torah. And Ahab said, please don't take Sefer Torah. He honored it. Mar says, no, the Ma'avot Chayim, because the Avodah Zarah. Mar says, no, לא תדע תתך. תכתיב, ויאמרו אליו כל זקנים וחכמים, not תשמע ולא ותתעבה. We see that Hachamim over there agreed with him not to let them take it. So it must be referring to Sefer Torah, not Avodah Zarah. Otherwise, they wouldn't have protested to have the Avodah Zarah taken away. Maybe it was a bad Hachamim that were there, his bad advisors that would want the king to keep the Avodah Zarah. We see that Absalom also had evil advisors. Where it says, it doesn't say all people. Over here it says all people. And it can't be that everybody was in agreement in that regard. We see there was at least 7,000 tzaddikim at the time. And therefore, it can't be that every single one of them would have been down to do Avodah Zarah. Must be talking about there was a Sefer Torah, and that's how he honored it. Mar Nachman, Ahab was very equal in his good deeds and bad deeds. שנאמר, ויאמר השם מי יפתת אחאב ויעוד ויפול ברמות גלעד. ויאמר זה בכו זה, בכו, וזה אומר בכו. מתקיף הרי, sorry, this is a question. מאן דכתב רק היה כאחאב אשר התמכר לעשות הרע בעיני השם אשר עשתה אותו איזבל אשתו. ותניא, וכו מה הייתה שוקלת בשבט אהבה עבוד החיים. Learn from Baita that Isabel, his evil wife, you should take gold and sell it to and give it to Avodah Zarah on his behalf. And you're saying he was equal? He was through and through a bad person. Mar says, he had a good quality. He was very loose with his money. When we talk since he used to give to his money, they benefit from it. Therefore, half his averot were forgiven. كم بما ויאמר יצא והייתי רוח שקט בפי כל נביאה ויאמר תפתק וגם תאכל צבע שכל. My ruach, there's a spirit that came to Hashem, and Hashem said, and he said to Hashem, let me try to get Ahab to sin, and I'll lie to him. And Hashem said, go out and do it. So what's the spirit? Amar Rabbi Yochanan, this is the ruach, the spirit of Navot. Navot was a guy who had a vineyard next to the palace, and Ahab wanted it. Tried to get him to sell it, didn't want to sell it. He ended up having him killed, and he stole it. Now this is his spirit. Might say, why don't Hashem tell him to go out? Maravina. I should said, leave my area that I am, because because the person who lies will not come next to Hashem. We see from here, I know that ancient people say the someone who goes after his desire to get revenge will destroy his own house. So we see that even though the Navot spirit was trying to get Ahab to die, he was banished from Hashem because he was willing to lie. ויעש אחאב את האשרה ויעש אחאב לעשות להכריז את השם אלוקי ישראל מכל מלכי ישראל שהיו לפניו. Ahab made an Asherah tree and a Zerah tree, and he did a lot more things to anger Hashem more than any other king. Rabbi Yochanan, he wrote on the doors of Shomron, Ahab kafar b'elokei Israel, Ahab denied God. Therefore he has no portion in the world of next world. The king Yehu took out the Ahaziyahu, captured him, and he was hiding in Shomron. Ahaziyahu would scratch out the names of Hashem from Sefer Torah. He put the names of Avodah Zarah instead. Shema Yisrael. Menashe was named that because he made believe he forgot God. Menashe because he caused Bnei Israel to quote unquote be forgotten from Hashem because of their sins. Menashe did not have the next world because it equated him to Ahab in that pasuk, and therefore Ahab just like Ahab has no portion in the next world, so too Menashe. Menashe does have an expression. Hashem granted it to him when Menashe prayed. Rabbi Yochanan both learn from the same pasuk between Machoket. More so about Bigla ben Asher Sheva, the Inhu Lavut. Right, that pasuk says, "I'll make people of the Jewish people at the time shudder because of what Menashe did." So he says, Rabbi says, Menashe did Teshuvah, but the rest of people did not. More so about Tanakh holds no. Opposite. Bigla Menashe lo avad Teshuvah. They didn't do Teshuvah because he didn't do Teshuvah. Rabbi Yochanan, Kol Amar Menashe Nachman Ba Whoever says that Menashe does not have Olam Haba, he makes it harder for people to do teshuvah because Menashe asked for forgiveness. Menashe asked teshuvah Menashe did teshuvah for 33 years. Now, how long did Ahav rule? 22 years. Menashe كم ملach, how long was Menashe king? 55. Dami now assume we have to take away these 22 years. 33 years. We see that for 33 years, right? Because they tried to equate it. Ahab and 22. So he was only like Ahab for 22 of those years, must be the other 33 years he did the Shabbat. God listened to him and vayhater. What does that mean? Vayhater lo mibaylesh. Listen, vayhater. Why is it different? The Midat Hadin, the judgment angel did not want to accept Menashe's teshuvah. He said he was too bad. However, Hashem made a tunnel, special tunnel for the teshuvah to travel to the Kisei HaKavod. Amar b'Yechana Mishun Rishmor Echaim. Ma'adirti Bereshit Mamlechot Yehoyakim ben Yoshiyahu. What does it mean that in the Bereshit of Yehoyakim's reign, the son of Yoshiyahu? Uchtiv Bereshit Mamlechet Tzidkiyahu. There's no other kings. Rather, Hashem wanted to destroy the world because of how bad Yehoiakim was. But then he looked at that generation. He calmed down because they were good people. Also, the people were such wickedness during the time of Tzidkiyahu. Hashem wanted to destroy the world again. And decided to calm down. But it also says that Tzidkiyahu did very bad things. Why did you say Sadiq? The Gemara says no. He himself was a Sadiq. But his only sin was he should have protested them, and he didn't protest the sinners, and therefore it was considered a sin. What does it mean? The guy is with the fool and he gets upset and smiles, there's no fear. I became angry at the evil king Ahaz, and therefore I put him in the hands of the Syrian kings, hoping that because of his defeat he'll do teshuvah. However, he brought korbanot for their gods. He said their gods helped them win the war. I'm going to serve them also. Disaster. I saw the king of Asiyah. I was good to him. I gave him the king of Edom in his hand. Hopefully that would show him my power is great and him to the Shabbat. If he brought their gods back to Israel and bad them. أدمين بذات إلهي بني سعير عمي دم إلهيهم بن مش حابب لنا كعطير مرة بقى حين دم عينشي بذات بخيل الأمور بليدا حي خيل الأمور بليدا فال الأمور بليدا عبين تاش تريش. It's like a famous line. You could cry to the guy, he won't realize it. You can smile to the guy, he won't realize it. Unfortunately, the person who can't take a hint, whether it's good or bad. That's what happened. He gave a bad hint, a hard hint to the evil king. He made it worse. He gave a good hint to the other evil king, and he also made it worse. All the officers of Babel of the king entered Yerushalayim and sat by the Tavech gate. Where is that? That is where they used to decide halachot, Yami Sanhedrin. And it's unfortunate. The Bavel guys were just chilling at the place where the halacha used to be done by Sanhedrin. That's what it says. I'm you would say, on the spot where the warrior used to hang his weapon, now the shepherd hangs his jug. That's the equivalent. It used to be Sanhedrin used to do halacha there, and now the Babylonians are having their meetings. Siman al Sedevatim Lotunim. What does it mean? I passed by the field of lazy man. When I passed by the vineyard of a guy who doesn't have sense. There's all thorns. His face was covered with also like thorns. And the stone fence was broken. I passed by a lazy man. Ahaz refers to Ahaz, evil king. The person, the vineyard, no guide doesn't make sense. This is Menashe. There's thorns. Amon, the son of Menashe, was also evil. Kasub Hanav Harulim, the Yoakim and Yoakim, the guy whose face is covered with it. The stone fence broken. Zed says Kiya's friends Kiyash. Harabet and Lesh Biamav, he lost the Bet HaMikdash during his time. Four types of sinners do not get to see the Shekhinah. Kat Latim, people who make jokes at the wrong times and too much. Kat Shakanim, people who lie. Kat Hanifim, people who flatter those who sin, not just regular flattery, people who flatter those who sin instead of telling them off. And Kat Mesabret and also those who speak Lashon who bring a proof from Pesukim. Kat Latim Ketiv Mashach, Lotasim. Kat Shakanim, liars, Ketiv, Dover Shakarim, Lo Yukon, Negdenan, pretty straightforward. Kat Hanifim, Ketiv, Kilo Lefenav Hanefiyavo. Flatterers won't come in front of me. kat מספרים לשון הרע לטיב, כי לא אל חפץ רשע, עתה לא יגרוך רע, צדיק אתה ולא יהיה מגרך רע. You, Hashem, are a tzaddik, and therefore, evil person who speaks evil about other people will not be allowed in front of you. Amen.